Welcome to the Kinky List, the podcast where we dive deep into the fascinating world of human sexuality with honesty, education, and zero judgment. I'm your host, Zara Black, and today we're exploring one of the most popular and versatile positions in intimate relationships, the legendary doggy style. Now, before we begin, I want to emphasize that everything we discuss today is about consensual adult activities between willing partners. Communication, respect, and consent are the foundation of any healthy intimate relationship. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and let's embark on this educational journey together. Today's episode is packed with practical information, variations you might never have considered, and insights that could transform your intimate experiences. Let's start with the basics. When most people think of doggy style, they picture the classic scenario: the receptive partner on their hands and knees, while the insertive partner positions themselves behind. But here's what's fascinating. This seemingly simple position is actually a gateway to incredible variety and exploration. The traditional doggy style involves the receptive partner placing themselves on their hands and knees while the insertive partner positions themselves behind. This fundamental setup creates what I like to call the foundation for dozens of variations we'll explore throughout today's episode. What makes this position so appealing to so many couples? First, it's the angle. Unlike face-to-face positions, doggy style aligns the body in a way that can facilitate deeper penetration. The rectum, when positioned this way, becomes straighter rather than bent, which is particularly significant for anal play, something we'll dive deeper into later. But it's not just about depth. This position offers incredible accessibility. The insertive partner has easy access to stimulate the clitoris, reach around for additional manual stimulation, or engage in other forms of touch. Meanwhile, both partners can engage in significant pelvic movement. The insertive partner can vary their thrusting from gentle to intense, while the receptive partner can actively move in rhythm, essentially controlling pace and depth. Now, let's talk about the psychological aspects that often get overlooked. Many enthusiasts appreciate what I call the energetic potential of doggy style. There's something primal and passionate about this position that can unleash a different kind of intimacy compared to face-to-face positions. The receptive partner, despite being behind, often maintains significant control over the encounter's rhythm and intensity. For those new to giving, doggy-style positions offer a particular advantage when learning to navigate between different openings. The visual access and angle make everything more intuitive, which can reduce anxiety and increase confidence. But here's something crucial that many people don't realize. The receptive partner in doggy style actually has tremendous agency. They can arch their back to change angles, push back to control depth, and adjust their position to optimize sensation. It's far from the passive role that some might assume. Now that we've covered the foundation, let's explore the incredible variations that can transform your experience entirely. Think of these as different tools in your intimacy toolkit, each offering unique sensations and advantages. Doggy style on all fours is our starting point. The classic we just discussed. The receiver supports themselves on hands and knees, with the giver either kneeling behind on a bed or standing if using furniture. Simple, effective, versatile. But here's where it gets interesting. Doggy style with head down takes everything up a notch, similar to standard doggy style, but the receiver lowers their head and shoulders, creating an entirely different angle. This position is particularly effective for G-spot or prostate stimulation because of how it optimizes the body's geometry. The curve created by lowering the upper body can be absolutely transformative for sensation. Then we have flat from behind. And this one might surprise you. The receiver lies flat on their stomach with either bent or straight knees while the giver lies on top. I know it might sound awkward at first, but here's the secret. A little practice makes this position incredibly rewarding. It facilitates medium to deep penetration because the rectum is positioned optimally for smooth entry. Plus, the full body contact can be incredibly intimate. Doggy bent over furniture opens up entirely new possibilities. Picture this. The receiver bends over a bed, couch, or table with the giver standing behind. This variation is fantastic because it allows for different heights and angles that simply aren't possible with traditional bed-based positions. The psychological element of using everyday furniture can also add an exciting spontaneity to your encounters. Each of these variations offers something different. The key is understanding that small changes in positioning can create dramatically different sensations. It's like having multiple positions within one basic framework. Let me introduce you to something that might revolutionize your intimate repertoire: the corner doggy style. This isn't just a slight variation. It's an innovative approach that leverages furniture geometry for enhanced pleasure. Unlike traditional doggy style, corner doggy utilizes the corner of a bed or table in a way that creates unique opportunities for positioning and sensation. Here's how it works. The woman stands upright with her legs straddling the corner of the bed or table. Once positioned, she leans over onto the surface, resting on either her hands or elbows. What makes this special? The strategic use of the corner naturally facilitates the ability to spread legs wider, enhancing access and sensation in ways that flat surface positions simply can't match. It's geometry working in service of pleasure. For women in the corner doggy position, the adaptations are numerous and fascinating. Initially, you might brace against the bed or table, gently pushing back against your partner. But here's a game changer. By bending the knees, you can lower your body, resting more on your stomach rather than actively supporting yourself. This creates an entirely different angle and removes the fatigue that sometimes comes with supporting your own weight. Men also enjoy incredible versatility in corner doggy. You can adopt a dominant stance by positioning directly over your partner, ensuring her legs are spread while maintaining an upright posture. For more passionate encounters, gripping the hips firmly and synchronizing each thrust with a pull toward yourself creates an intense connection. Options for enhancing intimacy include hands on shoulders or even tender hair grasping, always mindful of gentle pressure and communication. But here's what I find particularly beautiful about this position. It accommodates both passionate intensity and gentle romance. Want a sensual experience? The male partner can softly massage the back while maintaining the intimate connection. Looking for something more intense? The corner support allows for more forceful movement without losing balance. The corner doggy offers optimal angles for reaching around and providing additional manual stimulation, potentially enhancing pleasure for both partners simultaneously. It's remarkably conducive to both passionate and rougher encounters thanks to the stability provided by the corner support. One important practical note: this position works ideally for both vaginal and anal intercourse, though beds with both headboards and footboards can restrict movement. Otherwise, it's a versatile, pleasure-enhancing opportunity for adventurous couples. Let's shift our focus to something equally important: the power dynamics and control aspects of doggy-style positions. This is where psychology meets physicality in fascinating ways. There's a common misconception that doggy-style positions automatically place the insertive partner in a dominant role. The reality is far more nuanced and honestly, much more interesting. Consider the receptive partner on top variation, where traditional power dynamics flip entirely. The receiver positions themselves astride the giver, creating face-to-face interaction that fosters conversation and the ability to engage in various forms of physical affection. Stroking, rubbing, pinching, and stimulating different areas of each other's bodies. This positioning grants the giver unobstructed access to the receiver's body, making clitoral or penile stimulation easier. But here's the key. The receptive partner leads the experience. They decide the angle, depth of penetration, level of movement, and rhythm. For givers who may be inexperienced or anxious, this presents an opportunity to relax while their partner assumes decision-making responsibilities. The reverse cowgirl or cowboy variation adds another layer to this dynamic. Partners face the same direction rather than each other, which can be more favorable depending on anatomy and personal preference. The receiver may have better opportunity to stimulate their own genitals, though communication requires more effort. When the receiver is positioned on top, they have flexibility to sit upright or lean in any direction, forward or backward, to discover the most comfortable and pleasurable angles. This isn't just about physical positioning. It's about emotional and psychological empowerment. The partner positioned beneath often enjoys this setup not just for physical reasons, but for the visual and emotional experience of witnessing their partner's pleasure expression as they take the lead. There's something profoundly intimate about this perspective that face-to-face positions can't replicate. Even in traditional doggy-style variations, the receptive partner maintains significant agency. They can control depth by pushing back or pulling forward, adjust angles through back positioning, and essentially dictate the rhythm of the encounter. The apparent submission of being positioned behind is often actually a form of sophisticated control. This is why communication becomes so crucial in these positions. Both partners need to understand that control and pleasure are shared experiences, regardless of who's technically behind or on top. Now let's dive into one of the most frequently asked questions about doggy style. Does it really allow for deeper penetration? The answer is fascinating and involves some basic anatomy that's worth understanding. From behind, doggy-style positions do indeed support deeper penetration, but it's not just about pushing further. It's about alignment. When the receptive partner is positioned in doggy style, the rectum aligns more straight than bent, which allows the insertive partner to achieve satisfying depth more comfortably for the receiver. This alignment is particularly significant for anal play. The natural curve of the rectum works differently depending on positioning, and doggy style tends to optimize this geometry. But the benefits aren't limited to anal encounters. Vaginal penetration also benefits from the angles created in these positions. Here's what's particularly interesting. From the doggy style angle, it's possible to stimulate the G-spot or prostate more effectively than in many other positions. The insertive partner can reach around the body for additional clitoral, vaginal, or penile stimulation while maintaining penetration. This multi-point stimulation potential is one of doggy style's greatest advantages. But let's compare this to other positions for context. The classic missionary position, with its many variations, offers different benefits. When the woman raises her legs to place them on the man's shoulders, this allows direct clitoral stimulation from pelvic contact. Another missionary variant involves positioning the woman at the edge of a bed with the man standing, which can facilitate deep penetration, but from an entirely different angle than doggy style. The key insight here is that different positions optimize different types of stimulation and depth. Doggy-style excels at combining deep penetration with accessibility for additional manual stimulation, while also allowing both partners to engage in significant movement. For oral stimulation, which we should mention in our comprehensive discussion, the optimal approach involves different positioning entirely. The Kivin technique, for example, positions partners perpendicularly rather than in the traditional head between legs stance, often allowing for increased pleasure due to better angles and visibility. The takeaway: depth isn't just about how far penetration goes, it's about how positioning optimizes the entire experience for both partners. Doggy-style positions excel at creating opportunities for deep, satisfying penetration while maintaining access for additional stimulation techniques. Let's address something directly. Doggy-style is widely considered ideal for anal sex, and there are specific anatomical and practical reasons why this reputation is well-deserved. The classic doggy-style position, woman on all fours with the man kneeling behind, grants the insertive partner substantial control over thrusting motion. But here's the crucial element. This control necessitates considerate communication between partners. The key to success lies in maintaining a steady rhythm after slow, careful entry. Why is doggy-style particularly suited for anal play? It comes back to anatomy. The position aligns the rectum in its most accessible configuration, reducing the natural curves that can make penetration more challenging in other positions. This isn't just about comfort, it's about safety and pleasure optimization. But doggy-style isn't the only excellent option for anal play. Let me introduce you to some alternatives that offer different advantages. The glowing triangle position facilitates face-to-face connection during anal play. The woman lies on her back with a pillow under her lower back, elevating her posterior. Her legs are bent with feet planted firmly. As the man penetrates anally from between her legs, she can embrace him, and she may use her hands for additional clitoral stimulation. This transforms anal play into an intimate, romantic experience while still providing the optimal angles for comfortable penetration. The reclining lotus takes the glowing triangle further by increasing G-spot stimulation opportunities. Starting with the woman on her back, pillow-supported, she bends her knees toward her chest, spreading her legs sideways. The close proximity allows for face-to-face intimacy, like kissing while maintaining the beneficial angles for anal play. For those who enjoy the relaxed intimacy of spooning, the afternoon delight offers deep penetration with substantial control for the insertive partner. The man lies on his side with slightly bent knees while the woman positions herself at a 90-degree angle, hips close to his. This allows comfortable penetration with opportunity for intimate eye contact. The Amazon position presents a woman-on-top dynamic using a chair or stool. The woman straddles her partner, facing him, and dictates the rhythm according to her comfort. This returns control to the receptive partner while maintaining the anatomical advantages that make anal play more accessible. Finally, the basket position balances control between partners. With the man seated upright, legs extended, the woman straddles him while he supports her movement by placing hands under her buttocks. This allows either leisurely pace or rapid movement according to shared desire. Each position contributes to making anal experiences varied and engaging, but they all share the common element of anatomical optimization that makes doggy-style positioning so effective for this type of intimacy. Now let's explore territory that might surprise you: how doggy-style positions work in group sex scenarios. While this isn't everyone's experience, understanding these dynamics offers insights into the versatility and adaptability of these positions. The most commonly depicted group scenario involves one person in doggy-style position being penetrated from behind while simultaneously performing oral sex on someone positioned in front of them. This creates what's essentially a chain of intimacy that can be incredibly satisfying for all participants. For individuals who are bisexual or pansexual, this setup provides a scenario that blends multiple forms of intimacy and desire simultaneously. But it's also valuable for people exploring their sexuality. Those interested in experiencing oral sex with different partners for the first time often find this arrangement less intimidating. Here's something counterintuitive. Performing oral sex while being penetrated, despite seeming potentially distracting, can actually be advantageous. The distraction can alleviate performance anxiety by shifting focus away from executing every detail of oral technique perfectly. The dynamic nature of this position emphasizes general enjoyment over precision. For those engaged in penetration, whether through stamina or strap-on use, rotating roles is often appreciated. This allows each person to experience different perspectives of giving and receiving, enhancing both the physical and emotional communal experience. The doggy sandwich involves two people in roughly missionary position with a third behind them. The person in back penetrates the middle person while the bottom and middle individuals engage in intimate kissing. While not everyone is directly involved in genital stimulation, this setup emphasizes emotional intimacy through face-to-face proximity, eye contact, and kissing. Another scenario, the spit roast, involves the middle person being penetrated from both sides, from behind in doggy style, while simultaneously performing oral sex on someone in front. This applies to either vaginal or anal penetration and provides intense interaction levels for all involved. What's fascinating about these group dynamics is how they highlight the collaborative nature of doggy-style positioning. The position's accessibility and versatility make it naturally suited for multiple partner scenarios where different types of stimulation and intimacy need to coexist. The key insight here is that doggy-style's fundamental structure, its accessibility, control options, and anatomical optimization makes it incredibly adaptable to complex intimate scenarios while maintaining comfort and pleasure for all involved. Let's conclude with some advanced technique considerations that can elevate your doggy-style experiences from good to extraordinary. First, let's talk about the often overlooked importance of hand placement and additional stimulation. In doggy-style positions, the insertive partner's hands are free for incredible creativity. This isn't just about holding hips, though that certainly has its place. Consider gentle back massage during penetration, reaching around for clitoral stimulation, or even incorporating both partners' erogenous zones simultaneously. The receptive partner also has more agency than commonly realized. Arching the back changes penetration angles dramatically. Pushing back against thrusts allows depth control. Adjusting knee width alters tightness and sensation. These aren't passive adjustments, they're active techniques for optimizing pleasure. Communication becomes even more crucial in doggy style because visual cues are limited compared to face-to-face positions. Developing verbal communication or agreed-upon physical signals ensures both partners can express their needs and desires effectively. Let's address stamina and sustainability. Doggy-style positions can be physically demanding, particularly for the receptive partner supporting their own weight. Having pillows available for knee support, alternating between different variations, and being mindful of fatigue helps maintain pleasure without physical discomfort. For anal play specifically, preparation remains crucial regardless of position. Proper lubrication, gradual preparation, and constant communication about comfort levels are non-negotiable elements of safe, pleasurable anal experiences. The psychological elements deserve attention too. Some people find doggy style incredibly empowering, while others prefer the emotional connection of face-to-face positions. Neither preference is superior. Understanding your own and your partner's psychological responses helps you choose variations that enhance rather than detract from intimacy. Consider incorporating other sensory elements. The accessibility of doggy-style positions makes them ideal for introducing toys, temperature play, or even simple things like different textures of fabric or bedding surfaces. Finally, remember that mastery comes from experimentation and communication, not from rigid adherence to any particular technique. Every body is different, every partnership is unique, and what works fantastically for one couple might need adjustment for another. Today, we explored the many dimensions of doggy style, from classic positioning to creative variations like corner doggy, and from power dynamics to ways to enhance connection and pleasure. What's clear is that this isn't just a single position, it's a gateway to countless intimate possibilities. Curious how subtle tweaks can transform your experience or unlock sensations you've never felt before. One variation we discuss next has left couples amazed at the depth of connection it brings. Download the Skoob app now to get access to the full story, bonus insights, and expert guidance to explore safely and confidently. Keep communicating, experimenting, and prioritizing pleasure and connection in your intimate life.